Hey everyone, this is the Mana Source, my name is Wedge, and today is the day of rares. Every card spoiled this morning and this past weekend is either rare or mythic. Let's talk about some playables. During our spoiler videos, we only cover cards that are officially spoiled, so it killed me that this was leaked for weeks and I couldn't talk about it. But finally I can. Medomai the Ageless is 4 colorless, 1 white, and 1 blue for a 4/4 flyer. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, take an extra turn after this one? He's totally balanced though, because he can't attack during extra turns, so that makes it okay. What? No it doesn't! Yes, this guy can be Doombladed or killed by a lot, but he screams control deck. You can't tell me you've never had a game where they had a simple Restoration Angel beat you to death. 6 mana too expensive? Not for a control deck. They don't play creatures with mana cost 3 through 5 most of the time anyways. I expect decks to go right from Omen Speaker to Medomai. We have seen a lot of expensive cards with expensive abilities spoiled so far. Considering Innistrad, known as one of the fastest blocks in recent years, is rotating, we can't expect Standard to slow down. Once unplayable bombs will no longer need cheaper reanimation effects to hit the field. Medomai is no exception. I don't expect decks to be running 4 of this guy, but there is no doubt in my mind that control players will take their time walks where they can get them. Also, most people side out their creature destruction against control decks because they run so few creatures. You might not be able to do that against Medomai, which is really annoying. One last thing, follow me here. Medomai plus Aurelia plus anything that grants double strike, Boros Charm for example. Boom! 4 turns! Blue-white-red control is going to be really happy. I mean, come on, that's just dirty. Like, counterbalance dirty. I feel like I need to shower now. The next card we're going to look at is Psychic Intrusion. 3 colorless, 1 blue, and 1 black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it. You can cast the card as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast the spell. This is an EDH card through and through. The ability is cool, and I like the mechanic they are instituting that lets you pay any color for something. But it's just too expensive for standard play, especially at sorcery speed. Probably the best part of this is the artwork. How flavorful is this? The Returned are already one of the favorite races on Theros, but this kind of art looks amazing. It's like he's having his memories of who he used to be taken away. It's just so awesome. This brings us to Angel of Despair. Ashen Rider. Sorry. I've been getting them confused all weekend. Ashen Rider is a 5/5 flyer for 4 colorless, 2 white, and 2 black. Whenever Ashen Rider enters the battlefield or dies, exile target permanent. This is just a better version of Angel of Despair. It exiles twice instead of destroying something once. Standard play won't be as easy for this guy, but cards like Rescue from the Underworld give me hope. If you can get this into play, it's a bomb. A 3-for-1 at worst. Very cool card. Black could always use more hate cards, and Hero's Downfall looks like Theros' contribution. 1 colorless and 2 black for an instant speed kill spell, destroying any creature or planeswalker. Personally, I love planeswalker specific hate. They are utilized so often in strategies now that it doesn't hurt to get something simple that can deal with them. Hero's Downfall takes Dreadbore to another level. 1, it's instant speed. 2, it's mono black compatible. And 3, it costs the same as Murder. This card is a staple in Standard until rotation. It won't be a $30 card or anything like that, but it will be really strong and provide great answers to decks running both Domri and Xenagos. Look out for this card. They will make great trade fodder. Boon Satyr. Oh, I was going to give you an introduction, but he flashed in too quickly. He's that fast and stupid strong. 1 colorless and 2 green to get you a 4/2 enchantment creature with flash. In addition, you can bestow it for 5. I can't be the only one who sees the ridiculous amount of value here. Come on. 3 for a 4/2 is really powerful. 5 mana for a 4/2 combat trick enchant creature? Whose idea was this? Who? Come on, R&D, this is crazy. Not only are you giving someone a decent combat maneuver, but you are letting them keep it forever, and by some chance that creature still dies, Guess what? You now have a 4/2, and 4 power kills most creatures in the format by itself. I could spend an entire video talking about how versatile and strong this guy is. He will be at the top of the curve in a lot of aggressive decks. He can even be used in mid-range. He's that versatile. One thing to keep in mind, which may be one of the most important, is that he provides 2 devotion to green at flash speed. This could seriously ruin someone's day if you bait them into attacking, flash this guy in, and all of a sudden your Nylea is a 6/6 indestructible. Whoops! This card is great. It went on sale at midnight last night for $2 on Star City's website. Then it sold out in less than 5 minutes. If you play green, you probably want to get a few of these. Everyone can see there is a lot of value here, it's just finding how to use it best is the challenge. Granted, I don't think it'll be that hard considering he will probably be amazing in anything he's in. The next card we are looking at is Hythonia the Cruel. Our first Gorgon mythic, she is 4 colorless and 2 black for a 4/6 death touch. You can make her monstrous for 8 mana, granting her 3+1/+1 counters and destroying all non-Gorgon creatures. The flavor of this card is awesome, the art is awesome, but she is really, really expensive. She is a bomb in limited and great for EDH, but standard viability is going to be difficult to justify considering her costs. The other day we saw Reaper of the Wild, which costs significantly less and provides amazing benefits. For 6 mana, the body isn't awesome, but also isn't terrible. The monstrosity cost is really high and creatures can be regenerated. I think it would have been a bit more playable if the effect was more of a Wrath of God and less a Day of Judgment. All in all, I really do like the card for limited and EDH, just not as much for standard. The last card we are talking about today is the Spear of Heliod. For 1 colorless and 2 white, we get the legendary enchantment artifact that grants +1/+1 to all creatures you control. If you spend 3 mana and tap it, you can destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. This card goes decently well with Heliod himself. Creating 2/1s was a bit underwhelming, but add this Anthem effect and you have some beefy 3/2s. There is definitely some good synergy between Heliod and his weapons, so that's pretty cool. As far as standard playability is concerned, this card does 2 very different things. Giving your creatures +1/+1 is a more aggressive ability, and destroying creatures that dealt damage to you is a control ability. This spear seems to be trying to cover too many bases. 3 mana for the pump isn't terrible, especially on something that gives a couple devotion, but in an aggressive deck, you're going to be using your mana to increase your board presence most of the time. I'm sure there will be times the second ability comes in handy, I just don't see it being a staple in the inevitable white, red, green aggro decks. That said, it's definitely a bomb in limited. That's all we have for spoiler coverage today. What is your favorite spoiler this weekend and why? I'm also interested to hear if you guys like the direction Theros is taking, and if you're as excited as I am about the pre-release. If you live anywhere near New York State, you should check out our Facebook page for information on where the Mana Source is going to be pre-releasing. Come join us in Poughkeepsie, New York at Champion Card Collector. It's going to be awesome. As always, subscribe below for the latest and most reliable spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.